In the beginning of the story, we see a man named John running through a dense jungle. He is very scared and trying to find a safe place. As evening falls, his watch stops working. At that moment, all the birds in the area start to fly away. To save himself, John quickly climbs a tree but suddenly falls, breaking his leg. He somehow manages to reach his bag and pulls out a dagger for protection. Shortly after, we see something aggressive approaching him. John becomes even more frightened when he sees it. The creature catches John and drags him into a pit, and the scene cuts off there. The next day, we see a 28-year-old girl named Mina in Galway, Ireland, working at a pet shop. Her boss gives her a parrot to deliver to the Belfast Zoo. Mina agreed and walked towards her house because she was to deliver it the next morning. On the way, she receives a voice message from her twin sister, Lucy, which reveals that their mother died in a car accident 15 years ago, and Mina has always blamed herself for it. Because of this guilt, she never talks to her. Mina ignores the message. The next morning, as she leaves town, Mina notices numerous missing persons posters on a board, indicating that many people have already disappeared from the area. Ignoring them, she continues driving, taking a shortcut through the jungle to reach the zoo quickly. Suddenly, her car stops in front of a board that reads a point of no return, which confuses her. She gets out of the car, takes the parrot's cage in her hands, and starts searching the area for help. Seeing no one around, she notices someone running away and follows them, but finds no one there. Shocked and distressed, Mina decides to return, only to find her car missing from where she parked it. Confused and hearing strange noises, she starts getting scared. As evening falls, she sees birds fleeing in fear, just like John experienced at the beginning. Terrified, she spots an old woman opening a gate and urging her to come inside quickly.
If you care for your life, you're going to have to run.
With no other options, Mina follows her into the place. Inside, she learns that the old woman's name is Madeline, and there are two others named Ciara and Daniel. They explain that they have been trapped in the jungle for some time, living in a bunker. The bunker has a glass wall through which creatures called the Watchers observe the humans inside. Although Mina doesn't understand much, the others reassure her that the Watchers are pleased to see a new member, referring to Mina. However, Mina is determined to find a way out and sets off to escape the jungle the next morning. Madeline warns the others not to stop her, seemingly knowing that Mina will return. As Mina searches for an exit, she sees a shadow of a woman in the forest, scaring her further. She runs towards the sun but fails to find a way out. Exhausted, she sits down and is suddenly approached by Madeline. Madeline explains that many people have tried to escape before, but most were killed by the Watchers.
We've all tried and failed.
The jungle plays tricks on people's minds, making it difficult to distinguish between reality and hallucinations. Despite the challenges, Mina is shocked to learn that there is a world where one cannot leave. That night, everyone in the bunker stands before the glass wall, and Ciara dances to please the Watchers. The next day, Mina goes with Ciara to find food in the jungle. Ciara reveals that she and her husband, John, came to the jungle 6 months ago. John is the same man from the beginning of the story, and he hasn't returned since he went searching for a way out 6 days ago. Despite knowing he won't come back, Ciara holds on to hope. Madeline takes Mina to the board that reads a point of no return, explaining that such boards surround the bunker in a circle. A professor who came there long ago placed these boards, and anyone who steps outside the circle is killed by the Watchers. Mina realizes that the jungle is manipulating her perceptions, making it hard to tell the difference between reality and hallucinations. Ciara also mentions that entering that pit was forbidden because anyone who saw the Watchers would be killed by them. After they return with food to the coop, Madeline tells Mina the rules for staying there. Never sleep with your back to the mirror wall, never open the coop door in the dark, and always return to the coop by evening. Following these rules was essential for survival. Although Mina didn't fully trust these rules, she started following them. One night, while standing in front of the mirrors, she hears no sounds from outside, so she goes closer to the wall to listen. Hearing nothing, Mina begins to think it's all fake and turns her back to the wall. Suddenly, loud noises come from outside, scaring both Madeline and Mina. Madeline quickly turns Mina's face towards the wall, and the noise stops, indicating that the Watchers consider it disrespectful when someone turns their back to them. The next day, while Mina is outside with Daniel, she asks him about the Watchers' appearance, but Daniel has never seen them either.
No one sees a Watcher and survives.
He explains, like Ciara says, that anyone who sees the Watchers doesn't survive. Mina, being stubborn, wants to see the Watchers and convinces Daniel to go to the pit where the Watchers reside. Despite Daniel's hesitation, he agrees to help her, hoping they might find a way out. They enter the pit, staying in the sunlight to avoid the Watchers. Inside, they find items from the 1900s, including newspapers, a camera, and belongings of people likely killed by the Watchers. Mina collects some useful items, including a cycle, which Daniel helps pull out with a rope. As Daniel throws a rope to pull Mina up, a Watcher's hand reaches for her, but it burns in the sunlight, preventing it from grabbing her. Daniel quickly pulls Mina up. Returning with the items, Madeline and the others are thrilled, especially with the cycle, which could help them explore further. Daniel and Mina don't mention that they retrieved the items from the pit. They also bring back a camera, which Daniel sets up outside the coop, connecting it to a TV inside to watch the Watchers at night. However, even after a long night, no Watchers appear, and the silence in the jungle is terrifying. Suddenly, there's a knock on the coop door, and a voice claiming to be John asks to be let in. Ciara, overjoyed, rushes to open the gate, but Madeline warns her that no one can reach the coop at night.
No one can survive the forest after sunset. This is a trick.
Madeline advises Ciara to ask a question only John would know, but before she can, they see on the camera that a Watcher drags John away. They realize it wasn't John but a Watcher mimicking him. Mina then admits she broke the rules by entering the pit. Madeline, angry, says nothing but throws the cycle back into the pit the next day, hoping to appease the Watchers. However, strange things start happening in the jungle, affecting Daniel the most. Ciara, realizing John is truly gone, decides to jump into the Watcher's pit to end her life. Mina stops her just in time. Meanwhile, Daniel, acting strangely, ties Madeline to a tree, intending to leave her for the Watcher. When Mina and Ciara find him, Daniel locks himself in the coop, hoping to kill them too. They manage to get inside, but Madeline is left outside as night falls, leaving them terrified, not knowing how to survive the Watchers. But Madeline had a plan. That night, she quickly took Mina to a rotten tree that smelled awful because the Watchers were attracted by human filth. By hiding near the tree, they hoped their scent would blend with the surroundings and avoid detection. This plan worked, and for the first time, they saw the Watchers up close, who were terrifyingly large. When the Watchers checked the coop and found Madeline and Mina missing, they became furious and summoned their comrades to search the jungle for them. Meanwhile, Madeline and Mina returned to the coop and pleaded with Daniel to open the door. This time, Daniel complied. Inside, Madeline revealed more about the Watchers. They learned that everyone who ended up in the jungle was either deceived or lost, but Madeline knew about the jungle and the Watchers beforehand, which seemed suspicious. She claimed to have heard about it and came to see for herself.
Unlike the rest of you, I came here because I wanted to. I knew what was inside.
The scene then shifts to the past. When Madeline first entered the jungle, a Watcher started mimicking her appearance. She managed to kill it before it could kill her. In the present, Madeline explains that the Watchers are shape-shifting fairies who keep humans in the coop to observe their behavior. Why they want to understand human habits will be revealed later. When the Watchers realize Madeline and Mina have returned, they move towards the coop to kill them for breaking the rules. Madeline quickly reveals a hidden bunker under a mattress on the coop floor. Shocked, everyone follows her into the bunker, which is stocked with equipment and supplies. They could stay hidden for a long time. There's also a computer, which Madeline hadn't mentioned before. When they turn it on, they find around 300 videos made by the professor who first arrived and set up the coop. This professor, Rory Kilmart, came to investigate fairies, which he related to some demonic creatures. His videos reveal that he found evidence of the Watchers and managed to capture one, which could take any human form. The professor's final video shows him deeply distressed, admitting his mistake in coming there and explaining he couldn't leave. He provides instructions for future visitors to find a boat left by a river, which could be found by following birds, as they fly towards safety at night.
If you found your way here, get to the boat. Follow the birds.
He requests that anyone who escapes should burn his research to prevent others from learning about the Watchers and disturbing them. Knowing the way out, everyone feels a bit relieved. They don't need to follow birds because Mina has befriended a parrot she brought along. But there's still doubt about why Madeline knew about the exit, but never told anyone or left herself. This is a very shocking turn of events. The next day, she releases the parrot and, following the professor's instructions from the video, starts tracking the parrot. Along the way, they come across a skeleton of a man with wings, which could be a dead Watcher. They pass beyond the warning boards, which Madeline initially forbade Mina to go beyond. Moving further, they find a large stone with strange pictures carved into it. Madeline explains a story based on the carvings. In ancient times, Watchers lived among humans in human form but couldn't hide their wings. Humans, fearful of their power, began to ostracize them. They trapped the Watchers under a stone in the jungle to keep them from escaping. Over time, as the Watchers tried to dig their way out, they lost their wings due to the prolonged entrapment, making it impossible for them to return to the outside world. They watched humans to learn their ways to blend in without being captured again. As evening approaches, all the birds start fleeing the jungle due to the noise, and Madeline and the others follow them to the river where they find the boat. However, the Watchers arrive, and one takes John's form to deceive Daniel. Despite everyone's attempts to warn him, Daniel is killed by the Watcher. Madeline, Ciara, and Mina manage to escape, while the Watchers, in various human forms, stare at them. A few days later, Mina goes to the professor's college, claiming to be his niece, and destroys his research as he requested. She discovers that when Watchers lived with humans, they mated and produced hybrids with both human and Watcher powers. These hybrids could hide their wings and go out in sunlight, which gave them significant advantages. The humans didn't know about these children when they imprisoned the Watcher. Mina finds a photo in the professor's room that shocks her, and she rushes to Ciara's house. There, she reveals that the photo was of the professor and Madeline, who were husband and wife. However, Mina finds out online that the professor's wife had died of cancer long ago. This leaves her confused about who the current Madeline is. Suddenly, the doorbell rings, and outside stands Ciara, shocking Mina. Mina sends Ciara away, and the Ciara inside attacks her, revealing herself to be a Watcher, the same one the professor had captured and who had been living as Madeline. The Watcher explains that after the professor's wife died, he sought out a Watcher who could take his wife's form to live with him. This Watcher, Madeline, had been rejected by other Watchers because she could go out in sunlight, indicating she was a hybrid. The professor and Madeline, needing each other, decided to stay together. Eventually, the professor realized it was wrong to live with someone else in his wife's form and ended his life, leaving Madeline alone in the jungle. Madeline, needing a normal life, didn't reveal the way out to people who came to the jungle, even though she knew it. She brought Mina out because Mina, consumed by guilt over her mother's death, wasn't moving on with her life. Madeline intended to kill Mina and take her place. However, Mina convinces Madeline that there must be other hybrids in the world with whom she could live. Madeline agrees, transforms into her true form, and leaves. Mina realizes the value of life and family. She reunites with her twin sister, Lucy, and they happily talk. Outside, Madeline, now in the form of a little girl, watches them to see if Mina truly values her life. If she didn't give it to him, I think she might have killed him and taken his form. Or seeing that Mina has a family, she might kill her and stay with Lucy. With this, the movie ends here. I hope you liked the video and the story. If you enjoyed it, please like the video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe.